Well, pretty early, isn't it? Coming up on 2 o'clock in the morning on May 7th. We have showers and storms that are moving through the area. A lot of noise out across Benton County and one pocket of rotation to keep a real close eye on. This is what it looks like. You can see the showers and storms out around Bentonville and Rogers. Some heavy showers and storms out there just to the north of Cave Springs, out towards Scissortail, Lockmore Club, that coming up on the Hunt Towers, Pinnacle Country Club, Rogers High School, starting to get these showers and storms move through the Madison neighborhood. Rogers Library, Snyder Meadows out there towards the rail yard. That's downtown Rogers, where some of this is now starting to push in. This at the moment in Benton County is not severe, although it is very loud and does have some strong gusty winds on the leading edge around Bentonville and Lowell. I'm going to put this in motion. I want to show you one area of rotation that I've been watching, though. There's the line that moves through, right? There was a little bit right there around Siloam Springs in the last couple frames. That actually fell apart as it moved towards Lowell. So right now we're mostly looking at some gusty winds in the Lowell area. But if we move down to the south, you can see right in here, I think the Weather Service is probably looking at this one real close and may end up doing something with this. They have a severe thunderstorm warning out. There is rotation on it. Currently, it is southwest of Stillwell, north of Bunch and Greasy, moving east. This is what it looks like on velocity data. So if I were to loop this, you can see this area. They actually did have a tornado warning on it earlier and have since let it expire. But as that thing keeps rolling east, I think that's something to keep an eye on for northern Crawford County and southern Washington County. This is the area I would be most concerned with seeing some of the rotating part of the storm. Meanwhile, to the west, we've had winds right in this area that gusted to, what is that, 60 and then 75-mile-per-hour wind gust out around Muskogee. So another thing to watch with this, as the outflow outruns this squall line here, you'll start to see a weakening trend behind the outflow boundary. So I'll zoom in. See Sallisaw, look to the west near Vian and Gore. The storms near Eufaula aren't even severe. See the little outflow gust right through here? So on the flip side of that, once that moves through, that'll knock out some of the updrafts and lower that risk. What I'm most concerned about is see how you get up here to southwest of Stillwell in this area. Just because there's no boundary out in front of it, this thing has got access to a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture, and really a very unstable air mass. So this is the area I would be most concerned with. That's near Stillwell and Greasy. That's moving east. And I think with time that could get into central Crawford County and Washington County for the possibility of the stronger storm that would be rotating. Let me see if we can go over to another product here and look at this. Severe thunderstorms have been ongoing all night long across Oklahoma. Look at all the lightning with this too. First, why don't we look at the lightning here in Benton County? I mean, goodness gracious, especially in Siloam Springs right now, that lightning is just really coming down. Heavy showers and thunderstorms still moving through. This is going to be the case here for a while. It's not a real quick mover with these storms, and they do have quite a bit of thunder, lightning, maybe some small hail, and also some brief gusty winds as well. I thought maybe it would be good to take a look at a camera here. Let's see if we can pull up 14th Street in Bentonville. This is a live look. You can see the lightning that's out there. I haven't had much in the way of hail reports, at least at the moment. So that's definitely working in our favor. Let's see here. The only storm with hail on it that I'm seeing is going to be, take you back over to analyst real quick. That's the one that's the same one near Stillwell, that one that has a little bit of spinning going on to it. So that's so far is the biggest one that's out there that has the most concern. And back over to a live image, this from Walton looking southbound towards Uptown. You can't even really make out Hunt Towers this evening or Topgolf, can you? Cars moving extremely slow on the interstate. This is not a very fast moving storm at all. It's going to be dropping a lot of rainfall, and there'll continue to be a flash flooding risk with this heavy rain that we've been seeing. We also get another big heavy storm coming up on Wednesday of this week. That also could cause some flash flooding issues for us. Back over to radar real quick. Sallisaw, you guys are getting some of these showers and storms starting to move in from the west side of town. This is a severe storm. Does not look like, well, we got some pretty strong winds in Vian. So we do. We have some winds that are gusty here coming in from the west side of Sallisaw into Sequoia County, and that gust front eventually makes it out towards Fort Smith. That pocket of rotation is still very, very broad at the moment. south of Stillwell. There's no warning on it for a tornado. There is a severe thunderstorm warning, though, and that surprising at all. That's the strongest part of the storm. Elsewhere, it's just raining cats and dogs out there. This is a look out towards Pleasant Grove, where you really can't make out a whole lot. You have these showers and storms, which have caused all those tornadoes in Oklahoma yesterday, and are now moving into our area with heavy wind, some small hail, and also some rotation that's out there. But again, just to reemphasize, it's not in this shot. It's not in Pleasant Grove here. It's actually out there south of Stillwell and north of Greasy, where the heaviest part of the storm is located. And go back over to a different radar source here, and let's take a look at it. This is going to be again looking at central Benton County here. Let's stop the radar and show you some of the heavier areas that are affected. In Rogers, this is going to be along Walnut on North 8th Street, West Olive, out there towards West Easy Street and West Hudson Way. That's right there at that weird stoplight over there off of Hudson where it curves back up to the north from Highway 12, North 13th Street, Highway 62. All getting this activity moving through. I'm going to back out here and head over to the west. We've got some very heavy showers and storms here. This is near 105, it looks like, and 848 near Upper Round Top and Twin Mountain is what it's looking like. It also looks like, at least for right now, new severe thunderstorm warning just came down. This one for Crawford, for Sebastian County. This is going to be part of that storm that's out there that's tracking towards the south and southeast. Let's bring this back to you. Let's go to analyst. There we go. And I don't know if it's populated on the map yet. It should pop up here in just a second, right in this area. This is the area that there it is, just picked up. So this is the what they're watching here with that storm that's moving in northwest to southeast. So the Weather Service issued this for does include Fort Smith. It's going to go till 3 a.m. They're looking at winds gusting to 60 miles per hour is what they've issued this for. So there are two warnings out here now. You have one warning out there to the north that covers Fayetteville. You actually don't have a warning in the loudest part of the storm, which is in Bentonville and Rogers right now, and also in Cave Springs. Heavy thunderstorms are moving through that area, and these will be tracking towards the east through the next hour or so. I mentioned this before. I don't have battery backup power, so if I happen to lose power, um, you might lose me. Actually, it's just going to go dark because the internet and the computers are on backups, but the lights aren't. So that could be fun. This is a live look at 6:12 now at 2:16 on a very early Tuesday morning. It is a crawl, isn't it? Lightning is something else. It's torrential rainfall. It's heavy rain and wind. That's all tracking in across the area. And again, if you're just waking up and finding this on the Facebook or the YouTube, thinking, all right, Lewis, what's happening out there? Well, that's looking south towards 612. You can barely make out the interchange through the car lights and all the lightning out there. There are some storms that have rotation on them. Those storms, actually, it's one storm. It's the one that's located near Stillwell tracking east. This is still the one I'm most concerned with as far as any tornado potential goes. It's south of Stillwell, making its way towards Crawford County. So I think that's the one to watch. And that could be one that gives us some issues and some trouble too going into the next hour as it moves into northern Crawford County and then moves out there towards southern Washington County. So those two areas are going to be places to keep a real watchful eye on with this thing that's moving in. Um, Maybe we could take a look at 264 down Monroe just because it looks like that's getting really hammered the most right now. Let's see if we can get that one pulled up for you here. This is going to be the 77 Monroe Avenue. This is the RDOT camera here. Got those heavy showers and storms that are moving through. We'll go look at street level up next. Also looks like the storms are starting to roll into Sallisaw now. Probably don't have to tell you guys that. If you're in Sallisaw, you're probably getting it. You can see the storm rolling in from the northwest. Back out here. Here it comes. Boy, that thing's really ripping through, isn't it? That's had a history too of some damaging wind gusts. I can see those gusts popping up 75, 60 miles an hour. And it's been so wet too that I think it could pull some trees out of the ground fairly easily. It doesn't really take all that much whenever you've got antecedent ground conditions that are just soggy and smushy. Probably can't even really mow yet, have you? Can you? At least that's my story, and that's what I'm as far as the mowing goes. But I think that's those storms that head into Fort Smith. It'll be there shortly too with the damaging wind gusts. They are severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for the greater Fort Smith area. And then backing out, you can see in northwest Arkansas, we have those showers and storms still tracking north. I think that the one storm that has that rotation on it that's still here near Stillwell, this one is also the one to watch for any hail. I'm seeing some hail sizes up to about quarter here near Stillwell. That's going to move towards Dutch Mills and Evansville. The rotation risk, if there is one, is going to be north of Natural Dam and northwest of Lee Creek. It's right there. You can see a little triangle that's populated on the image here. Looping this, see as it tracks in. There actually was a tornado warning on this earlier. That's one reason why there's already a little bit of a concern going into it. It's not super wrapped up and tight. The rotation is east of 59, west of Bell, tracking into northern Crawford County. And I mentioned this earlier, but you can see the outflow boundary here, how it outran Sallisaw. This is more of a gusty wind risk. The tornado threat's a little lower here just because its outflow boundary is out ahead of it. The boundary is not ahead of this in Stillwell. Frankly, not ahead of this either in southeast Benton County, but there's not much that's severe going on there at the moment. It is loud and noisy though, huh? Those showers and storms. Back over here and look at some streets that are being affected by this. The heaviest part of this seems like it's just north of Old Highway 68 near Brush Creek Road. Um, that's going to be moving up towards Elm Springs, Rocky Comfort, Healing Springs, Highfill. So this is southeast of the airport. There's 264 where Healing Springs runs out towards the east. That's going to be moving over towards Colonel Myers Road. That's east of Healing Springs. This is before you get into the Cave Springs area. Um, and you can see some other streets affected here. Farrar Road, over towards Adkins Road, right into the downtown part of Cave Springs, and also north of 412. So west of Elm Springs on 112 running north south is where this heaviest part of the storm is. And you can also see all the lightning associated with it in that area. As far as Rogers goes, it's on the east side of town now near Price Lane. South Dixieland, heavy showers and storms out by the high school, West Perry and New Hope. This is going to take it out towards the embassy, it looks like, with those storms that are tracking in. See if we can look at Whitaker Parkway here and see what it looks like. Heavy, heavy rain with this. I've noticed too. It's hard to see on the iCams at night anyway, but it's even harder to see with some of this rainfall. So this is um, looking out there towards Mercy, I believe. Heavy showers and storms there. That's looking towards the north. Not much going on the interstate at the moment, huh? Of course, you can't really see all that much for anything to go on. I'm going to back out of here and go back over to radar real quick and show you guys a wide look at how this is playing out. Time now is 2:22 a.m. There's the line of storms that's moving in. Oh, it's starting to surge here a little bit, isn't it? Look out here near Sallisaw, Fort Smith. See how it punches out, bows out a little more? Those wind speeds are really coming up. That's going to be the wind coming into Cedarville, it looks like. Let's look. Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of wind back there. Look at that bright purple pink color. Look how this has been playing out. Look at how the pink colors get darker. Looking at some very strong winds out around Marble City and Sallisaw. Guys, there's still some rotation here too, out towards Honey Hill. Um, it's not it's not super strong, but it's there. Keep your eyes peeled on that thing. It's gonna be right here. Um, that's really it as far as anything spinning goes that I'm seeing though. So at least we got that working in our favor, right? Not quite as intense in Fayetteville, at least at the moment. It's a little bit rowdier farther to the north. Probably tough to see a whole lot on this 412 cam out there on the Illinois River. Yeah. Watching the headlights, you can see if you can see rain curtains that are out there. Boy, those rivers and streams all getting filled up pretty quick too, huh? I was looking at this little thing here out around Cincinnati on Highway 59. Doesn't look like it's that impressive. This one does though, near Honey Hill. Um, hmm. Storm relative doesn't look as good. It's mostly a lot of wind, very strong winds right there. Another wide view. Man alive, is that a lot of lightning tonight? And we can look towards the Oklahoma state line here. Of course, this is looking east, so you're seeing the lightning that's kind of behind it. This is on I-40. So this is the storm. These are the storms that are coming into the Fort Smith area now. This is more of a damaging wind and not a tornado threat, though, that's coming into Fort Smith. Let's go back to this one. There you go. You can see how it's running up against that outflow boundary. It's outrunning the outflow boundary. Um, there's some strong wind in that stuff. Just moved through Salisaw, coming into Fort Smith here shortly. See if we can look east from the Welcome Center in Van Buren. Again, looking east, so we're getting a back glit part of that lightning and thunder. Right, shelf cloud coming in too over town. It's just out to the west. There's not quite as much hail with this. Here's one looking west. This is exit 3 out around Lee Creek. Oh yeah, we can see the shelf cloud. Watch this. Hang on, guys. Look above where that car light is here in a second through the lightning. See it? There's the lowering. That's the shelf cloud. So that's the leading edge of the damaging winds. A lot of times these are confused with wall clouds, and for good reason. They kind of look like a wall cloud, right? So here's the thing: the shelf clouds are where cool air and cold air is pushing out of the storm. Wall clouds are where the warm air is rising up into the storm. So you typically get shelf clouds on the leading edge. You get the wall clouds, which develop more towards the more towards the back of the storm. The lightning is very, very vivid that's out there with these thunderstorms that are starting to move into the area. All right, here we go. I saw this one coming, didn't you? Let's see. Let's go back over here. This is a new tornado warning. This for Crawford, for Washington County. You can see why. It's the same area that we've been talking about here. That little pocket of rotation near Honey Hill tracking east. The Weather Service electing now to issue a tornado warning on this. They're showing the tornado warning for another 33 minutes here. Quarter size hail with it. They've got it moving. What do they have it? East at 45. So this is a fast moving type storm that's moving in here. And east at 45 miles an hour is going to put this thing really quick, moving across parts of um, southern Washington and northern Crawford County. Let me show you here what it looks like. So there's our rotation, which, like we said earlier, was really easy to find with this. If we track it east, this is going to be making its way. Let's see here. It's a quick speed, man. 45 miles an hour. It's going quick. Blackbird, Banyard. Maybe I'll zoom out here and let's change radar sources here over to the Fort Smith radar from INX in Tulsa. I think that's going to give us a clear example of where this storm is rotating. Again, you guys in Fort Smith, the storm's coming into town, but the rotating part is north of you. And y'all in Northwest Arkansas, we have some damaging winds possible through here, especially up through Rogers and the west side of Fayetteville, but nothing's really spinning at the moment. Well, I say there is one little area that's spinning right here. So keep your eye on that little guy here. That's just to the west of Farmington. It's not as strong as this one though. This one's spinning quite a bit more This is the one that prompted the tornado warning. So let's zoom out. Let's do a storm track on this. Again, the Weather Service says this is moving at 45 miles an hour. So that's a very quick storm here. Some times for this. That's going to be near Schleberg out in about half an hour. So that's over by Chester and Mountainburg. Artist Point in about 30 minutes. Mount Gaylor in about 32 minutes. Should it hold together? Combs in about an hour. Cass in about an hour. Same with Brashears and St. Paul. This is moving through more of a rural area, about 1,073 people affected, based on the track of the storm through the Ozark National Forest, but very strong storm that's out there with that potential for a tornado to form at any time here in um, southwest Washington County, coming across the state line near Highway 52. The actual tornado would be right here. This would be try to get a street name for y'all. It's a really rural area. It's out there by Muskrat Mountain. Yeah, these Forest Service roads aren't populating on here. West of 59, out towards the National Forest. I'm going to go over to correlation coefficient. So what I'm looking for here, this is the rotating part of the storm north of Bell. And let's see if we can find whether or not this thing's on the ground at all. It's really noisy. Let's see here. I know this looks a little weird, doing some analysis on the fly. Oh no, that is, let me go back to analyst. These are the storms out there. These severe thunderstorm warnings for Fayetteville, um, all the way down the I-49 corridor coming into Fort Smith. Fort Smith is up next to get this thing moving through with gusty winds likely, possibly even some damaging winds as this thing moves through. It's coming in pretty quick. It's going to be lighting up the sky, that's for sure. I'll take you out there to the river right now. Really hasn't moved in just yet, but you can see the sky starting to thicken up. You're going to get hit with a lot of wind in the Fort Smith area with this thing coming through. A couple folks out there. Someone's headed to work. Go back to analyst. Tornado warning is going to go until 3 a.m. It's going to be moving across central Crawford County, sorry, northern Crawford County, southern Washington County. Strong gusty winds now coming into Roland. Out behind the storm, you've got some gusty winds as well near Salisaw, Aikens. Yeah, there's a lot of wind in this thing. You can almost see the wind looking at velocity. See how it's looked like a fluid, doesn't it? You can also see how that little tornado thing has been pretty persistent, that area of rotation here. Isolating the rotation right now would be right here. It's just west of 59. Thing's going, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing puts out a tornado here. Okay, so I think this might be on the ground, and here's how I can tell. You guys see this little blue color right here near Salem? I'm looking where this is co-located with the hook. So we've got the hook, right here. We have the wind speeds right on top of it. This is size sorting from the Doppler, and it's able to do it with the horizontal and vertical beam. So it's saying there's different sizes of rain droplets. We know that's not true. We know it's actually debris. So this is some kind of debris from the parent tornado that looks like it's on the ground here. Be crossing over 59 right now, just south of east of Evansville. So it's basically riding the Washington and Crawford County line here. From source. right here near Odell. So we're talking about this on 59. Trying to get you guys some streets out here. It's very rural. There's Evansville Creek, Dobbs Mountain Cutoff Road, and Antioch Road. I'm showing that as that's probably where this potential tornado would be located. Whew, yeah, that thing's really ripped up. The last frame really shows it too. I mean, that's the only thing you can really see on here. Let's go back to Analyst here. Potential tornado would be right here. Just to give you an idea of the ruralness of this, it would be right in here on the east side of 59. It is moving into part of the national forest, which certainly is a good thing. Past is south of Evansville. It looks like it would be potentially rain wrapped here. Let's watch it, see it intensify here. It started to intensify as it moved across the state line. No reports of visual. Weather Service saying radar confirmed tornado. So they're also seeing that blue colors that I was showing you a second ago. This on the ground. It's on the ground here east of 59, right there. Could put it into Winslow. That's the rotating storm. Keep in mind, we also have other storms that are out there. There's a wide view if you're just waking up to this stuff. We have strong thunderstorms that are out there in Johnson, Fayetteville, coming into Greenland and West Fork. This does have a severe warning on it. We've also got those strong storms that are coming in towards the Fort Smith area and Van Buren, as well as Roland. That camera that's out there near the rest area might be an interesting one to look at right about now. There it is. That's looking east. The guy in that semi doesn't know what he's about to drive into. There's a lot of wind and rain ahead of him as he crosses over that line. You can see the trees moving out in the distance. Again, this storm here is severe. It does have gusty winds. It does not have a rotation threat on it at the moment. That's going to be farther to the north where we're more concerned with that potential rotation. You got the tornado warning here. Let's see here. A new skit that popped up. Doesn't look like there's much to that. There's a lot to this, though. Good night. Still intensifying here. Again, tornado was on the ground in southern Washington County, northern Crawford County. If you guys are in the southern part of Washington County, this is the real deal for the tornado. Move to a safe place here now. East, southeast of Evansville. I know it's a rural area, but it is coming up towards actually the tunnel, Hopper Tunnel. Try to bring you that. Tunnel cam looking southbound. It's way up high, so the tornado will be coming in on the right side of the screen. I wonder if we can see the lowering is kind of what I'm curious about. Hard to tell though, with all the lightning that's out there. Makes it real hard to see these things at night. You can only see a car out there in the distance. This is on top of the Hopper Tunnel here. I'm looking between the lightning flashes to the right to see if I see any lowerings. This tornado is actually going to pass real close to this camera. We'll see if we can actually see this thing when it moves through. And go back to Analyst. So it's right here. It is still on the ground. The dark blue is the debris, so it's showing the debris cloud on this about a mile across in distance. It is rain wrapped, so maybe we won't see it on the camera coming through. Um, You get these little triangles that pop up are called tornado vortex signatures. They they generate based on rotation, but there's often eddies and stuff that form on the leading edge of the line, so it's not necessarily indicative of an actual tornado. It does show us that some damaging winds are possible. The dark red here moving away from towards Long, and the green moving towards Roland tells me there's possibly a microburst here, though, northwest of Roland. It's up on the mountain. Fort Smith, you're getting some of this heavy rain that's starting to move in now. Let's go back to a wide view just to give everybody a shot. They're just now waking up to this. Time now at 2:39 a.m. Tornado warning for southern Washington County, northern Crawford County. It does look as if a tornado is on the ground in southern Washington County and northern Crawford County. That's coming up towards the Hopper Tunnel, is where I'd be most concerned with seeing some of this stuff moving in. The Fort Smith area is getting these showers and storms moving through now. It's affecting Van Buren um, more so than parts of Fort Smith as far as the strong damaging wind potential goes. This is looking towards the west from Lee Creek, where those storms are coming in now. Some gusty winds with this, some wind damage possible, also some hail, mostly north of town. This is mostly a wind machine in Fort Smith, though. I'm not really seeing the tornado threat as high in the Fort Smith area. Back to analysts, though, the tornado threat very high here across the northern part of Crawford County. I'm also getting 2.5 inch hail reports. That's bigger than golf ball here. Cedarville, boy, we've got some stuff, don't we, huh? It's a little eddy right there too, east of Springdale. I'm sorry, east of Cedarville. That lightning of Van Buren's crazy. That's nothing like what we were seeing up here, though. Actually, this rotation has loosened up. See how tight it was when it crossed 59 right here? And you had the dark blue indicating a confirmed tornado with debris in the air here on 59 as it was on the ground. Where's the hail on this? Oh my goodness, man. It is big time right there. There's the Hopper Tunnel right here. So to give you an idea, I'll place a marker on this. This hail is located 6 miles southwest of the tunnel. It's kind of closer down, maybe towards the south part of Devil's Den, or maybe the trail that runs out of Devil's Den drops south. The rotation is still very tight. I lost the debris signature though, so it may have lifted for now. Very large hail in the storm though. Yeah, some large hail in Cedarville too. Big time. Boy, I bet it is coming down on you guys. In Cedarville, north of Rudy, this is up towards 282. That is some large hail that's out there. Little eddies, another one popped up right there. You can sometimes get spin up tornadoes with these. It needs to be a little bit brighter with the red and the green though. Well, the fact that it's got like a little curly Q there near Clover. Actually, is there a camera there? Let's look. It's exit 7. That's looking west. It should be looking right at it. Looking at the trees there on the left. Trying to see the movement out there. This literally should be looking right at the storm though. It's coming through. And not only that, but also any rotation would actually be right in the center of the shot. It's going to be something to keep an eye on here for just a second or two. As I'm looking at it from right here, right in the middle, right there. But the winds are hitting the camera right now. You can see the rain curtains on the ground from the headlights of the car. Sorry, that's not a car, that's a semi. We do have additional storms that are west of Fort Smith that are also going to move through. They'll also be severe. They'll mostly be a hail and wind damage threat. Interesting. It's right over the camera. Clearly, we don't have any power flashes or anything, so there's no tornado threat at the moment with this. Gonna look west here from the I-540 interchange. This is where you get on the ramp there. This is also where that little area of rotation is located. Look at the trees moving, man. This stuff's going 40, 50 miles an hour, maybe. What I'm also looking for on these cameras out in the distance on the ground is little blue or purple flashes. That'll tell us the wind's pulling down some power lines. It can also tell us that there may be a tornado on the ground. I'm not seeing that. Tons of lightning with this, though. It's actually moved east of this now. It's closer to Alma. We'll head back to that other tornado warning here in just a second. Look at this again. This is to the west, just because we have cameras lined up right on this thing. So this would be looking again at that pocket of rotation dead ahead. It'd be nice to get a lightning strike in the distance in the background, because I think that would really illuminate the lowerings if there are any. Got a little brighter. Still have a tornado warning in southern Washington County. I don't think this one's still on the ground. I'm checking behind the scenes here. It appears to have lifted. There's not much on that camera shot, is there? That's pretty much right where the where this little guy is located here. Little teeny pocket of rotation coming up on Alma. It's coming right down 64. That's why I kind of wanted to stay on that shot just to see what was happening there. But it doesn't look like there's much happening. This is west. This is going to be closer to the Alma exit. It's farther away. Bet we see the lowering a little better though. It'd be the center of the screen. It's more towards the left of the screen. South part of Alma, maybe. The reason I'm watching it is should be like up here, just behind that live logo. Here's what it looks like, guys. On the see the dark blue and green. At a minimum, we've got damaging wind going on here. May even have a little brief spin up trying to form. So hard to see these things at night. Again, that's looking west from Alma. So I think we're looking. Well, no, we're actually the way the interstate runs southwest from Alma. It's actually should be looking real close to it. It should be just on the left side of the screen there. I don't see any lowerings. I'll go back to radar here in a second. I'm gonna reset this whole thing. There's that lowering. You can see it through a lightning strike. We'll see what the weather service elects to do on that one. It's not intense rotation, but it is spinning. See if we can isolate it. I think this is going here. Some fairly strong, I think, rotation right here near Alma. I don't see it on, yeah, right there, just south of Alma. Looks like, and there it goes. All right, National Weather Service has just issued a tornado warning on this. This for the storm. Actually, two pockets of rotation. You've got that one that's down to the south that I've been keeping an eye on, but there's also one that's to the north too. You can see this one right here near Mountainburg. This is also a developing tornado. Um, that's the last couple of frames too. Right there, some very strong rotation here. Normalized rotation showing this right over Mountainburg, just south of Mountainburg, tracking to the east northeast. Let's see if this is on the ground yet. I'm going to recalibrate the radar. Take a look. I don't believe it is at the moment. Well, you can see that little curl there, though, can't you? So we got three potential tornadoes to watch. You have one here that I'm watching south of Alma. That would be a weaker one, a little bit of a stronger one here near Mountainburg, and a large, broad rotation here that was very tight earlier that had a tornado on the ground right here. See how dark it got? And now it's loosened up quite a bit. So the last couple of frames, it kind of has started to unwind right there. Watch. See, it's a lot broader rotation. When it tightens up, that's when you have to worry and be concerned about these damaging spin up tornadoes. I think that spin up risk is right there over Alma. It's also right there over Mountainburg. Don't think there's a camera that looks into that. Boy, that Mountainburg rotation fell off real quick. This is going to be looking to the north on 49. Good grief, it's lightning. It's going crazy out there. This is actually looking into that rotating part of the storm. Obviously, you've got incredible lightning that's out there. Wow. Weather Service is going to go ahead and call this a tornado in Dare County, crossing into from earlier National Weather Service observation official reporting it at 7:29 Universal Time. So 2:29 when it crossed over the Arkansas Oklahoma border. That rotation now is currently very broad and located here near Winslow. There's also some gusty winds that are coming into the south part of Fayetteville out towards Prairie Grove. Those look to be, let's see if we can get a shot of that. That would be down MLK looking west. I believe we can look north from MLK. That's some heavy duty thunder and lightning, isn't it? Not many folks out on the road this evening. It's more of a gusty wind threat, I think, here than a tornado threat in Fayetteville. To radar. Actually, not radar. Let's do this. Let's go to a different radar source. I'm going to take this to, let's go to a couple different things here. I'm going to put this in motion real quick. Let's look at reflectivity first. Okay. Wide view. Here's what's going on, guys. Much quieter in Rogers and Springdale. Things are coming to an end. Fayetteville will be over soon. Fort Smith, it's still rocking and rolling over you. Heavy showers and storms, wind damage potential. Sallisaw, I know it's real loud right now, and there will be some hail with this. We've had some tornado concerns so far. At the moment, does not look like this one's going to be renewed by the Weather Service. We'll see. It expires in 9 minutes, so we'll see. The strongest storm is the one near Mountainburg right now. That thing is cranking out. You can see the dark white colors on there. That is a very strong storm. Still looking north from Mountainburg. This isn't even looking into the strongest part of the storm, and it's like a disco show here with these strobe lights just flashing nonstop. The other one I'm watching close is Alma. The Alma one actually has better structure, it has a better radar presentation. Do you see a little curl there, like right in here? Let's see what this looks like on velocity. Let's see it. It's very broad. I think this is at the moment. This to me looks more like some pretty decent damaging winds here, more so than tornado. The damaging winds would be north of Yostown. Oh, there's Frog Bayou. This is Oric Road, just east of Henry Street, southeast of 162. This is kind of down there by the bottoms. So, Killer Highway runs south out of Alma. This is to the east side of that. So this is over by South Red Hill Street, South River Street, pretty much the river bottoms, southeast of Alma. There's a new radar update showing that pocket of damaging winds pretty much right on South River Road, South Red Hill Street, coming up on the Arkansas River. By the way, this probably gets into Riverdale on 96. So um, this is going to probably get towards Lavaca. Will it get towards Lavaca? There he goes. It's going to be north. It's well north of Lavaca. This was going to be closer to Vesta and 96 and towards Cecil, possibly Ozark with time. I still think there's a little, at least a minimal tornado risk with this. I'm going to check on that pocket of rotation up north here in a second. Let me look at correlation coefficient first. Hang on one sec here. Well, I mean, that's kind of wild. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. There was a little blue up spot that came in here right there. So let's see how this watch this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right there. See it? Look right in here. There. It's only like on one frame. Where did that occur at? Looks like it was like right here. Would have been on Henry. It would have been the south part of Alma, actually. Man, just south of baseball fields. See if there's any damage out of that. There's a signature there that kind of looked like there might have been some damage. The hail, though, man, the hail has come up a lot, isn't it? Let me look at the rotation again to the north, like I said, and then I'll look at the hail. That pocket of rotation now east of Mountainburg. Here's how this one's been tracking. It's gone back and forth, kind of cycling. I'm curious what this is going to look like here. Nothing actually jumps out at me as much on this one. Of course, you got to think about it too, where the radar site is compared to Mountainburg or Alma. If there was even a brief tornado, you'd probably get the debris in the beam because it's so close to the radar. Farther north, it's a little tougher to see. You can also make out little curly cues on there where you could have, that's not a technical phrase, by the way, but you've got a little bit of rotation there, and you've got a little bit of rotation right there. And you had a little bit right here. This one's weaker. I think they let this warning go probably when it expires. Read this bulletin again real quick. They've got it for 3:30. Um, well, they've got radar confirmed tornado. So the Weather Service is seeing that debris ball too on correlation coefficient, noting the debris in the cloud. So there'll be at least two tornadoes confirmed tonight when the Weather Service does their study. One that's going to be northern Crawford or southern Washington County. I think it was more southern Washington. And you're probably going to get two more tornado confirmations, one south of Alma, probably another one near Mountainburg too. I don't know if there's any cameras that are looking that way near Mulberry. See if we can find. Here's one looking west near Mulberry. I think this rotation's more to the south though. That's I-40. It shows the lowering a little better. And that is looking west from Webb City. It's a nice little flash. All right, got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This one coming for, looks like the Fort Smith area, so they issued a new polygon here. Oops, not that button. Sorry, guys. It's this new one here that includes the Fort Smith area. The Weather Service issuing this based on damaging winds. They're saying gusts to 60. That seems likely with this. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, right there. That's a ball of wind over Gans. Goodness. Guys, I'm still looking at this. Hang on. This is from out around Mulberry. Just looking at this lowering in the background. Just because we know we have that rotation that's out there. I can see, I can't really make that out in the middle there, just to the right of the light. I think that's Scud. Scud is low hanging clouds on the leading edge. It's not necessarily a funnel cloud. It's just so hard to see at night. We know it's spinning though. Not only do we know this is spinning, we know we've got man, we've got that Strong wind out around coming into Fort Smith now. Take you to analyst and look at this first. Okay, wide view. Here's where we are. Storm's over with in Bentonville and Rogers. Here's a look at the line as it moves through. Heavy wind coming into Fort Smith. Tornado warning still in effect. It's actually that rotation near Mulberry is way down. This is still up though. This one probably has a better shot of putting out a tornado. It's west of Cass, right there. Very rural area. Looks like broccoli if you turn off the radar. A couple folks live there though. You guys are east of Mountainburg and southwest of Cass. Move to the hallway till this thing passes through. The hail and Dyer should actually be pretty chunky, I think, with this. Good grief. I don't know if this is hitting the ground or not. I may have to go over to Facebook and see. I've got maximum estimated hail size over 3 inches. That's like tennis ball size hail. I don't know if that's hitting the ground or not for y'all, but holy good night. That is a lot. Let's go to this. Try this one. I mean, there should be some extremely large hail that's coming down right now along Sherman Creek, Rubens Lane. Restful Lane is not that restful tonight. Out around Graphic, Tiny, um, Radar Omega. This would be the area getting slammed with the hail. Of course, it's the one with the tornado warning too. So it's north of Mulberry. Where else are we seeing some of this hail? Rock Creek Road, Oak Bower Road, Slate Hill Road, Secluded Lane, Slate Hill Road. I think I said that already. There's some very large hail being indicated on radar here. Just really, really big hail. Here's another wide view of the storm. Stuff coming into Fort Smith is loud, but it's not as impressive as that stuff near Alma, northeast of Alma. I think we have more of a wind speed problem there. There's another wide view, guys. So this is what's happening. Get a little more. Lots of lightning and thunder. It's pretty much over with for Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale, and Fayetteville. Still ongoing for parts of the River Valley. It looks like anything populate on this one yet. Let's see. There it went. All right, so severe thunderstorm warning now. This is for that line that's dropping south. That's that damaging wind that we saw just a second ago. Here it is. Right back out of here. It hasn't populated here yet, but it will shortly. Right there. Also got a new tornado warning. Uh-oh. This is going to be Washington County. It's for that cell that we've been tracking. So right here, this is the new tornado warning. Oh yeah, it is back up. Maybe this thing has cycled for an hour at least. Okay, see it right here, south of Winslow. No big deal, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now we've got it going on right here. You have some that dark blue and the green tight right together. Let's see if this thing's on the ground. Nope, not yet. There's some strong rotation that's there. It's rain wrapped. It's on the backside of the storm from Winslow, so it's going to be tough to see this thing as it moves through. You also have the, jeez, potentially 3-inch hail, softball or baseball size hail out of this thing out towards Mulberry. May be hitting that camera now, depending on where it is. Let's just find out. I think he'd be moving a little slower. Maybe not, though. Four ways on. I don't see any hail on the road, do you? Well, I see it on radar, though. Ooh, that's some large hail out there. Check for rotation on that again. That's strong up there north. That pocket right there is really strong. That's on the ground, I think, right there. Some gusty winds out here near Winslow and Brentwood. Those are not tornadic. You got a pocket of rotation here with the tornado warning near west of St. Paul, getting in Madison County. A much larger area of rotation here coming up towards Cass. You guys in Cass probably need to take shelter. At least be ready to take shelter when this moves through. Getting some wind reports now. Amateur radio reporting me about to sneeze. If the mute button works. No, it doesn't. I see my mic still moving, so that was worthless. All right, so getting had a report of 70-mile-per-hour winds in Van Buren, 61-mile-per-hour winds. That's the ASOS site, so that's the automated surface observation. Also getting reports of trees down out in Arcoma from the line that moved through the Fort Smith area. Actually, it's going to be the leading edge of that line because it's still coming, huh? Here it is. Yeah, so that's indicative of what we're about to get in Fort Smith. Um, of course, we're already getting it, right? But you're going to have more coming in behind it just because you can see actually, the strongest might pass just to your south. That means if this is going close to 70, this is 70 to 80. That's out there north of Spiro, probably. This thing is rocking and rolling. Give me a sec here on this. Last radar scan was crappy. It's more inconclusive right now. I do think it's potentially. We'll have to wait and see if this blue color here lines out a little more. It is co-located. So is this one, though. That's some really dark blue, too. See, there's no blue at all with this, though. This one does not look like it's on the ground. This one can go either way. And then in Mulberry, apparently we just have the mother of all hailstorms underway, huh? This is a wider view. Let's go. Here we go. Hail's coming up towards White Rock now. I don't know how you say it. Is it Benet Bottom Road? Maybe close. Haven't been up there. Haven't been up to White Rock in a while either. County Road 69, Fork Road, Dove Lane. Heavy hail in that area coming up towards Jethro and also Paradise. Still watching that guy down there near Mulberry too. Let's see. Looking at on velocity data. Yeah, still pretty strong on velocity as well. Back over to analyst here. We'll take a wide view of this. And another tornado warning. Oh boy. All right, so where's this one for here? Let's see. This is going to be for Franklin County. It's this new one right here, this new polygon. There's a hodgepodge of polygons here because you've got several little tornado warnings that are possible with this thing. It's hard to make out heads and tails out of all this stuff, so it's easier just to do this. And then we can focus in on these pockets of rotation. They've got it issued. They're watching this guy here. It's very broad. Let's see here. I think the one near Cass probably has the highest potential of producing a tornado. Cell sizes have come down a little bit to 2.96 inches. Good grief. There it is. Yeah, it's on the ground now. Again, the way you can tell on this, see where the triangle is, the dark blue moving away. Let's recalibrate this and I'll show you. First, I'm going to show you exactly where the tornado is. Right here. So again, this is thankfully in a very rural spot. I don't even see any structures that are out there in the Ozark National Forest. This is likely on the ground right now. The way I can tell is if I find out where this rotation is and I look at it on velocity. Yep, it's right in the middle, right? New update. So let's do this again. Got it right here. That's where it is. and you got this blue color co-located right on top of it. So this dark blue is size sorting. This is tornado debris. Could be grass, could be dirt. It's just not raindrops, and it's not hailstones. It's something that's non-meteorological, and that's what you're getting here. So this does look like this tornado is on the ground here west of Cass. The dual pole Doppler really picking up on that. So you guys in Cass need to be moving to a safe place until this moves through. Definitely looks like this is a powerful storm here. You can almost see it spinning, can't you? As it rolls towards Cass. Damaging wind coming into St. Paul. Let's go back in and see what's going on in Fort Smith. See, I'm showing a lot of gusty winds. I don't see any tornado risk. It's probably pretty loud though. There's that wind coming through. That wind let up a little bit. That was out there around Gans. Here's what it looks like. It's really loud. Let's check out this. And I'm just curious. I'm gonna take off velocity, loop this. Here you go. Here's a wide view, guys. After this, we're going to be done with severe weather till Wednesday. Wednesday might be an earlier event, won't be in the overnight. Instead of 3 in the morning, it might be like 3 in the afternoon, which isn't that great. Large hail in Mulberry. Thanks, Matt. Can believe it. That looked really big. There's going to be some new roofs out of that. Lots of lightning in Fort Smith. Here's a closer look at it. I don't see any rotation or anything like that in the Fort Smith area. It's a really strong storm, though. And it's had a history of already downing trees. Let's see, that's south of the 40 interchange in the Fort Smith area. That is a new one. That's a new tornado warning. This is for Johnson County now. Let me get this one for you. It hasn't populated just yet. Got alarms going off everywhere. Let's see here. There we go. So this is Johnson County. They've issued it on this. So it's northern Johnson County, southwest Newton County, southern Madison County. Look at all these red polygons. I mean, it's just zigzagged all over the place. So the Weather Service is just warning this all the way across. I don't blame them. I mean, you saw it on radar. You got a little gaggle of lightning and thunder here near Hinesville and Huntsville. You guys are wondering what's happening there. It's a lot of wind and rain, but it doesn't look like it's spinning. The spinning stuff's still going on all over the place down here, though. Really, if you get down to it, though, it's two spots. It's one here near 16. It's also another one that's near 23. Both of those are moving east. So even though there's a hodgepodge of tornado warnings out there, it's really just those that are the most intense. I'm going to go back into Fort Smith real quick just because we were talking about that before that last warning came down. Here's where we are with the heavy rainfall between Roland and Fort Smith. That's going to be moving into the west side of Fort Smith now. You can see it here. This is exit 3. This is waking up everybody, isn't it? Van Buren, Oak Grove, Arcoma, Barling. Of course, Barling, you haven't got it yet. You will. It's coming up. Muldrow, Salsa, it's been storming for like an hour now. That wind and rain in Fort Smith. And that's what it looks like here. The heaviest is actually right over downtown, right over Riverfront, Ferris wheel, down Rogers Avenue, Garrison Avenue, Towson, moving down Kincaid, Grand, UA, Fort Smith, all getting hit by this. Lots of lightning and thunder with it as well. But that whole thing is going to be moving towards the east. Another severe thunderstorm warning. Where are we going now? Let's go back to this. This one is for, hasn't populated yet. There it is, Logan, Johnson County. So, sorry, let me get this loaded for you. Here we go. Do the big yellow. It's right in here. They've got that for Logan and Johnson County. New severe thunderstorm warning here. So the event pretty much over with in Bentonville, Rogers, Fayetteville. You guys are going back to sleep. No big deal there. Still ongoing here in parts of the parts of the Ozarks. and still have a strong thunderstorm over the Fort Smith area. The tornado risk, though, is highest in the Ozarks. Geez, this is really going here. Let's see, storm relative. Southwest of Highway 16. In reference to St. Paul, that's going to be 13 miles west. Actually, the new update puts it up Highway 16 by about 14 miles northwest of St. Paul. Yeah, guys, this is on the ground. It's right there. That's tornado debris. I'm flipping back and forth on this just to see what's out there. Thankfully, most of the strongest radar signatures today have been in National Forest. That's rain wrap too, so you won't see that one coming. What about other rotation out here? That's the big one. Then you have the one near Cass. Let's see. Mm, this one does not look like it's on the ground. And I don't see any other rotation pockets out there right now. Those are just the two. The wind in Fort Smith is still pretty big. And there's a lot of lightning, man. There's a lot, you guys are like, duh. Why you duh, Garrett? I don't need to see camera. I can look out the window. When I came into this room to do this, one golden retriever was breathing in my face. His name's Kihei. It means teddy bear in Hawaiian. The other one, Willow, is crazy. And she was in the closet hiding up underneath clothes that I haven't folded, that I need to fold. That I'm gonna have to now rewash because there's a golden laying on them. All that to say, your dogs are probably up. They get scared in this kind of stuff. So do the kids. I checked on my kids; they were both asleep. Some more wind I see coming into right there. See it? Sequoia County, gusted out. You got it picking back up here, right there near Gans. Man, it's like the second time we've had those winds come through Gans, isn't it? One after another. So we got those two trees down. We go back to a wide view and loop this for y'all. Actually, let's do another radar source. It's a little cleaner. I say it's a little cleaner. Is it cleaner? I mean, there's like warnings everywhere. It's hard to see. So the whole line is tracking east. Fort Smith's really getting a lot of rainfall. We flood really easy in Fort Smith too. Keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to be around for the morning drive though. I think by then most of this should be down if we get any flash flooding. And they have issued a flash flood warning. The Weather Service has this warning. When they have this thing going, well, they've got it going until 7:15. Saying 1 to 3 inches already fallen in Fort Smith. Oh, it's just a lot of rain. We need the rain. We need the spring rains, right? We just don't need it all at once. That's where you get into these problems. Put you over Fort Smith again in Muldrow. Gans really coming down heavy in Fort Smith right now. Looks like, yeah, I mean, it's right over, it's over us. Kelly Highway. Camera shot really doesn't do it justice. It's showing how loud it is. Of course, that one does, I guess. Frequent cloud to ground lightning strikes. North 50th Street. That's exit 5. That's Kelly Highway you just saw a moment ago. Let's see here. I'll take you over to Grand Avenue, which is here's Grand Avenue. So UA Fort Smith exit and 49 right here. So that looks like this. You know, whenever I punch the button up, the lightning goes away. No, there was a couple strikes there. There's a lot more, I think, than that camera shot is showing right now. And I got a new warning coming in. Oh boy. This is a severe thunderstorm warning now. This is Franklin County. Let's go back to this. Is it populated yet? We're already under one. Well, it's a large warning, isn't it? The warning goes till 3:30. Got 2-inch hail falling in Ozark on radar. In Fort Smith and Van Buren, let's see. I don't see much hail. I don't see hardly any hail um, in the Fort Smith area with this. There may be some, but I don't see a whole lot. Biggest hail right now I'm seeing is over Ozark. It's 2-inch hail. Ooh, man. Let's see. Wonder if we can find it. I can take you to exit 37 in Ozark. It's always hard to see this stuff at night, isn't it? It's hard to see the hail, the tornadoes. Not hard to see the lightning. That stuff's everywhere. All right, let's go back to analyst. Let's check up on our rotation that we have out there. Heavy storms in Fort Smith. I'm gonna look here real quick, just real quick. A lot of times the southern extents where you get some little pockets of spinning going on. We don't have anything there. The line of storms with rotation is right here, lined up north-south over Huntsville, stretching south through the Ozark area. Still have the largest hail being falling in Ozark. So I was kind of hoping we could get an image to see what the hail looks like. Get it? It's early. It's a dad joke. Looking at Cole Hill's camera, not much there. I'll keep an eye off camera of the Ozark camera that's out there on exit 37 to see if we can see any hailstones falling out of this. So that's where the hail is. It's a big hail threat there, right? Um, Another wind damage report. Power outages in Dean Springs. We had that rotation over there too. Eeh. Let's go to these are the storms. Let's isolate the rotation now. Strongest right there, south of St. Paul, very broad north of St. Paul. This is what it looks like here. And I'm going to hit play on this. Let's see how this trends. There's little spin ups all over the place. Actually, they both come down. And in fact, they should weaken as they move east. It's encountering a more capped environment. Let's see. No tornado to bring in that one right now. That's good. Let's another look at it. A little bit more developing behind the line, but shouldn't be quite as problematic as what we just dealt with. Looking. A live camera shot there in Ozark. We should have some pretty chunky hail coming out of this thing. I certainly wouldn't want to be driving in it. North of Whitaker Village. The heaviest hail is actually north of town, so that's probably why. That might be why we're not seeing it on the camera there. Meanwhile, out around Old Greenwood Road, the city lights light us up here. Heavy showers, thunderstorms, looking out towards the Fort Smith Airport. We did have that wind gust measured at 61 miles per hour earlier. I don't think we see that again. At this stage, the worst is probably in the books for Fort Smith. It's just going to be gusty winds with a lot of lightning. And then out to the east, you have this line of storms tracking eastward with that embedded pocket of rotation right there. It was really hooked up here. This is where we had it on the ground, right there. Oh, you guys can't see this. It's too early. All right, this is where it was on the ground. See how it's loosened up, weakened. I mean, you still got it. It's still there. It's not as tight as it was earlier. It comes into OARC. Ozark. The worst is just to the east of you. Heading into the rest of the overnight hours, it's gonna be more chill. We got one more big severe weather day to come up. That is gonna be on Wednesday, and it might be a little earlier than what we've been seeing. Earlier meaning not 3:24 in the morning. Let's see here. We'll look east out towards Coal Hill. Looks like we got the outflow boundary coming in. Ooh, light show. Look at the tree on the right. It's taking a beating with that wind, isn't it? We are in the clear. Rogers and Bella Vista, Fayetteville and Elkins. We're going to be in the clear soon in Salisaw. Same with Fort Smith. Not yet, though. And we'll still have some issues here across the Ozarks, getting up towards Ponca and Jasper. Thankfully, still entering a very rural area. Little guy's interesting, huh? Let's see what that thing's doing. Let's see it spinning. Let's check another source. Oh, you know why? It can't because the outflow boundary has gotten ahead of it. Um, that outflow boundary is cool air. Tornadoes need warm air. So when these outflow boundaries get out ahead of this stuff, it essentially kicks the feet out from underneath it, and you just don't get the um. It's hard to get the tornadoes to form with the outflow boundary outrunning it. You get damaging winds and you get hail. There is rotation there. I bet if we go higher up in the storm, we can see it. You want to? Let's see. Let's look at so that's the lowest tilt. There's nothing there. A little higher, a little higher. Yep, see it right there. You can see it better right there. Right there. If I place a marker, little red dot in the middle, then I go back to see it. Lines up perfectly. It's a loft. So I'd say it won't produce a tornado. It could. Actually, let's go to the end and back up a couple frames here. Thing's been there. It's been persistent for a little bit. We'll see. I see it right there, though. Still got this one going. Very broad rotation, more damaging winds out towards the Ozarks. This is moving into Coal Hill. See that rotation right there? Here you go. This is the Coal Hill camera that's on RDOT. What do we got now? Another tornado warning. Oh, wouldn't you know it? It's the same thing we are just looking at. New tornado warning. This is for Coal Hill and Scranton moving towards the east. So let's go back to the camera. Weather Service went ahead and issued this tornado warning. Probably based on that last scan. It came up in intensity here. It's right there on the leading edge of the outflow, though. Let's go to the camera. This is it. I mean, this is kind of looking right at this thing coming in. I'm looking for power flashes in the distance, some bright blues, things like that. Back to velocity off camera here. I'm going to get farther away from the radar site in Fort Smith. I may need to switch radars. Look at Little Rocks. This stuff I'm really just keying in on the trees that are out there. I'm looking for power flashes. I don't see either. That's the storm here, right there. That's tracking towards the east and towards the southeast. The whole line's moving out. I know it's still loud in Fort Smith. It's still going to be, but it's mostly a wind potential risk now, more so than. And they went ahead and extended the tornado watch. Just got that too. The tornado watch now is going to go till 7 a.m. for Logan and Johnson County. Look at this one again, real quick. It came down. But again, we're getting away from the radar side. Let's switch radars here. Let's look up. Let's use Little Rock's radar. Well, it's still kind of on the edge. Actually, I think the Fort Smith radar is better. That's right. Yeah. No, I just look. It looks more impressive with that Sailor storm, doesn't it? Right here. Fort Smith radar looked better for the source. There's a loop of it again. Red colors have come down in Fort Smith too. Lightning's probably still there, but all right. So let's stop it. That's that little guy near Coal Hill. Yeah, doesn't really look that impressive anymore. Let's see. It's not nearly as impressive as it was earlier, which is good. Always like to see it trending down a little bit. Keep an eye on it though, you guys. This thing's gonna be winding down here soon, so things will be getting a little calmer and a little quieter. Still got those storms in Fort Smith. All right, I've been running my mouth for about an hour and a half now. It's coming up on 3:30, and if you're like me, you might have to get up and go to work and get the kids up in 3 hours. That's gonna be fun. But the bottom line with these storms are they're finally um, moving out of our region and moving into central Arkansas. The rain in Fort Smith is going to continue for a while. It's going to have thunder and lightning with it. I don't see much of a severe risk, and I can keep an eye on it. The outflow boundaries outrunning the storms here in Fort Smith, that should stabilize the atmosphere some farther to the south. It does look like there were probably at least two or three tornadoes that touched down this morning. Southern Washington County, I think the Weather Service is going to find a track there. I think they're going to find one in Crawford County, in northern Franklin County, and also in southern Madison County. I think they may also find a track in Crawford County, south of Alma. So we'll see how that plays out with the Weather Service and their storm surveys. They also had a pretty big storm out around Stillwater this evening and Barnesdale. I'm not sure what the news reports were out of that. I didn't watch any of the news, but I was watching that storm earlier this evening, and that storm is really, really wrapped up too. So it's been an active night of severe weather. These storms continue, and again, our next chance of severe weather is going to be coming up on Wednesday. For the most part, though, these storms are exiting. Heads up still in Clarksville and Coal Hill. That's the last place where these things are going to move out. And then we'll have quiet weather for the rest of the overnight and a calm day on Tuesday ahead of the next storms on Wednesday. Hey, thanks for chatting with me this evening here on YouTube or Facebook. I'll see you next time.